In this video, we are going to see top 5 DAX functions. Guys, these functions are very important if you want to do certain kind of calculations in Power BI. And stay tuned till the end of the video as the fifth one is one of my favorites and it is one of the most important and one of the most used DAX function. So without a further ado, let's get started. So as you can see, we are actually going to do all these tasks with the help of the top 5 DAX functions that I have selected. So as you can see, there are 5 tasks that we are going to perform based on whatever the top 5 DAX function that I have chosen. Now, for that, let us understand the data that we have. So we have majorly two tables. One is fact table. So fact table has order ID, order date, customer ID, region, product, quantity, price, discount, and cost. As you can see, we don't have a total sales column. We don't have a total profit column. All these columns are not there in the data. And with the help of DAX function, what we are going to do is that we are going to calculate that values and we are going to also complete the task that was given. Next is customer lookup. So customer lookup is a table which will give me details related to customer. So it has customer ID, customer name, city, and country. So in real life scenario also you have multiple tables. One would be a fact table which will give you the operational information. Another would be a lookup table, that is it will give you specific database. For example, it can be an employee master, it can be a customer lookup table, customer master, okay, it can be a vendor master and so on and so forth. So this is a standard practice of having a fact table, that is the operational data, and the master data, that is lookup tables, or you can call it as master data. Now, the first function that we are going to see is SUMX. Now, as you can see, the first task tells me to calculate the total profit by factoring in both discount and cost price for each product. As I already told you that there is no total profit column that I have. So how can I calculate this value without even having a column of total sales? For that, we are going to use SUMX. So I'll just go into my DAX tab. Okay, this would be the window on which I am going to calculate all my measures. Okay, so we have fact table and customer lookup. Now, beside this fact table, there are 3 dots. So if I click on these 3 dots, I'll get an option of new measure. So I'll just click on new measure, and this measure I am going to name it as total profit. Now, as I told you that I am going to use SUMX for calculating total profit. So SUMX is the formula that I'm going to start with, and I'm going to go into the next line. It is always suggested to write your DAX function in multiple lines so that you can understand it well. Now, the first thing that it is asking me to select is the table. Okay, so I have all my data in fact table. So I'm going to actually write fact and my table will appear. Now I'll just put comma and go into the next line. Now it asks me the expression. So as you can see, I need to calculate total profit. Total profit I can get with the help of multiplying quantity with price. So right now, what I'm going to do is that I am going to write quantity multiplied by price. So this is a simple way of calculating your total sales. But I don't want total sales. I want total profit. Now, if you can see, I have a discount column as well. So if I want to actually calculate profit, the first thing that I want is sales. So I have calculated the sales, right? Now, the next thing is to actually deduct the discount. So how to do that? I have a discount column which has discount rate. Okay. So what I can do is that I can just multiply. I can open a bracket. I can write 1 minus. Why I am doing 1 minus is because all the rates that I have under discount are actually decimal values. It is not in the form of a percentage. It is in the form of a decimal value. For example, 10% is zero point 0.1 in that column. So what I want is, I want this sales net of discount. So 1 minus discount column I'm going to do, and I'm going to close the bracket. So this is how I am going to get my total sales net of discount. Now again, my job is not done. I actually need to deduct the cost to get my total profit. Okay. So what I can do is that I can just put this entire thing into a single bracket, and I'll just deduct it with the cost that I have in my table. Now my formula for total profit is complete. I'll just put shift enter and I'll close the bracket. So why I am going into the next line is to understand that my all the parentheses or the brackets are closed. So I have written the entire formula. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to just click on this commit. So it is telling me that there is already a total profit column. So let us just rename it to total profit 1. And so see, my total profit 1 has been created. Let us see what is the total profit. Let me just create a matrix. I'll just put the number of total profit. So the total profit is 288,800. Now, if I want to see product-wise profit, what I need to do, I need to just put the product here, and my product-wise profit is ready. So in this way, I can actually create these tags and avoid creating multiple columns. Now, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to just create a matrix, and in the matrix, I'm going to put total profit 1 under values. So 288,800 is the total profit for the entire database that I have. Now, if I want to have a product-wise profit, I'll just put product under rows, and my product-wise profit will be ready without creating any additional column. Now, the next function that we are going to see is RankX. Now, as you can see that the second task tells me that rank products by calculating the total profit margin for each product after applying discount. So in our previous step, we had already created a total profit measure. Okay. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to use this same total profit, and I am going to rank each product based on total profit. Okay. That is what is the task. So the task says you need to actually rank the product based on total profit. So how to do that? I am going to use a ready-made formula or a function which is called RankX. So for that, I am going to go into these 3 dots, and I am going to create a new measure. So the name of the measure that I am going to keep is rank is equals to shift enter. Now I am going to use a ready-made formula that is called RankX. Okay. So RankX will give me the rank based on certain criteria. So let me just go into the next line by pressing shift enter. Now here you need to understand that I want the rank based on product. So what I need to do is that I need to filter the table based on product. Then only I'll get the desired results. But before that, I need to actually use one more DAX function, okay, which is called all. So let me just put all. So I'm just going to create one all, okay, and all returns all the rows in a table or the values in a column, ignoring any filter. So it is going to ignore any filter on the product. So I have created this all, and I'll go into the shift enter. Why I'm going to the next line is because I want to be very clear about what DAX I am going to write. So here I am going to choose the column in which I have product. So I'll just put the fact table product, correct? And now I am going to close my bracket. Okay. So now my all is only going to take care of the filter of my fact table product. Now I just put comma. Okay. Now I need to put expression. So I'm again going into the next line to put my expression. Now, what do I want? I want this product to be ranked based on profit. So I have already created a total profit. So I'll just click on total profit, comma, shift enter. Now it is asking me a value. Okay. Right now, I don't want to give any value. I'll just put the space here, or I can go and put some space here, and I'll just put a comma. Now see, it is asking me ascending or descending. I want the product rank based on descending. That means the product which has the highest profit should be given the rank 1. So I'll just put DESC, that is descending, comma. Now here, always remember to put dense. Okay, never put skip. I'm going to put dense and shift enter and bracket close. So as you can see, my rank has been created and I have a table. Okay, let me just increase the size of the table so that you can see the letters better. Now it looks better. Maybe let's just reduce it to 80. Now here, if I just make it highest to lowest, okay, so 98,000. So laptop should have ideally rank 1, okay, and so on and so forth. That is how I need to rank my products, okay. Now what I'm going to do is that I am going to just put rank under this. As you can see, laptop has been given rank 1 and so on, all the ranks are given, right? So in this way, you can rank your product based on your requirement. The purpose of this ranking is, most of the times this ranking is to actually sequence the data. Okay. So the next function that we are going to see is related. Again, a very, very important function for DAX. As you can see in the third task, I want to actually retrieve the customer city to analyze regional performance based on customer data. Now, if you remember in my table view, I have fact table and customer lookup. Okay. And under customer lookup, city is there. If I click on this, you can see there is a customer ID and there is a city, right? So customer ID is the primary key that we have in this table. And under fact table, this customer ID becomes a secondary or a foreign key. Now, if I go into my data model, I can see there is a connection that has been created. If you click on this connection, you can see this connection has been created based on the customer ID. So I have created a one-to-many connection before actually using the related function. So if you want to create a connection, first you drag this customer ID and put it in the fact table customer ID over fact table customer ID, and you will be able to create, you will be able to create this connection. And once this connection is done, and it is going to be one to many, and you have to just save it so that you can create a connection. This step is very, very important before using the related. Now, if I go back to my table view, here, as you can see, my fact table doesn't have a city column. Now, if I want to have a city column in my fact table, how can I do that? I'll just go into my fact table. I'll select fact table. Now here, there's an option called new column. As you can see under table tools, there's an option called new column. If you click on this new column, a new column will appear. Now, what do I need to do? I need the new column with the name city is equals to. But the city is not there in this database. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to use the relationship that I have between customer lookup and fact table. So the customer, what I'm going to do is that I am going to just use the function of related. So if I click on this related, if I go into the next line, all I need to do is I need to just select this city because I want city data. That's it. This is as simple as that. So if I click on that, now what has happened is based on customer ID, the city has been assigned to each and every row of that fact table. Now, if I want to go into my DAX view, if I want to create a city-wise profit, I can very well create that because I have a city column created under fact table. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to drag the city and I am going to drag my total profit. Let me just change it to matrix and total profit I'm going to put under. So in this way, you have actually created a city-wise profit data as well with the help of this simple DAX function. Again, the prerequisite is you need to go into the data table view and you need to create a relationship between these two tables based on certain primary key. Now, the next function that we are going to see is filter. Now, filter can be used to create a measure and also filter can be used to create a data table as well. So for this video, we are going to see how to create a table based on filter. Okay. So I'm going to go into my table view, right? As you can see, I have two tables and I'm going to go back to my report view and see the fourth task. Okay. So it tells me filter orders. So whatever the orders that are there in my fact table, I need to filter to only include those with the sales greater than 50K. That means I want to actually take those orders where sales is greater than 50,000. And there is one more condition, that is discount is less than 10%. Now, as you can see, we have two conditions here. Okay, two filters are going to get created. That's how my table will actually get created. Okay. So as you can see here in my fact table, there is no total sales column. And I need to filter this data based on total sales. If the total sales is more than 50,000, then only the data will be filtered. So for this purpose, I need to first create a new column, which will be my sales. Okay. Is equals to shift enter. Now for sales, I'm going to put a simple formula, that is quantity into price into, again remember, net sales I want. So I have a discount column. So I just put 1 minus discount and bracket close. So in this way, I have my sales column created. Now I have my sales column and I have my discount column. Both the things are available. Now what I'm going to do is that I am going to go under table tools and I'm going to create a new table based on criteria. So once I go into the new table, I just name it as filter table is equals to shift enter. Now here I am going to use a function called filter, shift enter. So always remember, whenever you are going to start filter function, it is going to ask you the table. Right now, my data is in my fact table. So I'm going to write fact table, comma, shift enter. Now it is asking me what is the expression, what is the condition of filter, what has to be filtered out. Okay, so here in this case, my sales should be greater than 50,000. This is one of my condition. Okay. Now if you remember, I have two conditions. I have one more condition. Okay, so I just put and. So this two and I have put only to add one more condition to my formula. Okay, so that I can get the filtered data. Okay. Now the discount that I want should be less than how much? 0.1. Why I'm writing 0.1? As I told you that discount is in the form of decibel and not in percentage. Now, see, my filter expression is over. I'll just go into the shift enter, next line. And as you can see, there is a new table that has been created. Now under new table, all the sales that you are going to see, it is going to be more than 50,000 and the discount will be less than 10%. If I do some changes to it, if I actually put discount greater than zero point 0.1, so I'm going to get the required filtered data. This is how you can create your table with the help of this single filter function. And this filter table, you can use it for your calculation. The purpose of filter is to actually get the data which is required. It actually avoids data redundancy. Now, the last and the most important function that we are going to discuss is calculate. So as you can see here, in the fifth task, I want to actually calculate the total sales amount for North region in current quarter. Again, I have two conditions, but this time I need to actually use calculate function, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create one more measure. I'll just go into my DAX and here I'll just click on this three dots, a new measure. This will be North sales Q4. Why Q4? Because I have data from January to December and I want the data for the current quarter. For this database, current quarter will be Q4 for me. Now I am going to use a function called calculate. Again, very, very important function. Now the first thing that it asks is expression. So if you remember in our last DAX, we actually created a sales column as well. So I'm just going to put sum and the sales column that I have. So under fact table, there is a sales. So I'm going to sum the sales. That would be my expression. Now shift enter. So expression is nothing but what kind of activity, what kind of task that you want to do. That is what we call expression. Now in the next line, I am going to actually put filter. What is the filter? The filter is region should be is equals to not. So whenever you are going to put anything in the form of text, you need to put inverted commas. Then comma shift enter. If you remember, there were two conditions. Okay, one was the region should be north and the quarter should be fourth. So now in my data, I only have date. I don't have quarter. So what I'm going to do is that I am going to use the formula of quarter. So quarter will give me the quarter in which this entire sales belong to. Now, under quarter, I need to select the date. So if you see in my database, there is an order date. Okay, order date is the date that I'm going to use. Bracket close is equals to, as I told you that I want the data for quarter 4. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to just put 4 and now my formula is complete. So what I've done is that first thing that I've written is my expression. Then the filter 1. Okay, this becomes my filter 1 and this becomes my filter 2. And I'll just commit it. So now if I want to see the sales of North region, okay, I can see with the help of this DAX function. Now let me just put, so North sales for quarter 4 is 1,69,000. And if you want to see it in the product wise, you can just put product and this is the product wise sales for North region. So in this way, you can use calculate function. Again, a very, very important function where you can put multiple filters and get your calculations done. So I hope you liked all these top 5 DAX functions. And if you want me to create more such videos on DAX, please use the comment box. You can tell me what functions do you want to learn. I will actually incorporate it in my next video. Thank you very much.